What if the calm you've been chasing has always lived inside you, quietly hidden under layers of fear, doubt, and endless overthinking? Many times we get trapped between memories of the past and worries about what's ahead, forgetting that real life only happens here, in this moment. Worry is like carrying a burden that was never meant for you. It steals your strength, clouds your thoughts, and blocks the peace that's already yours. Yet when you slowly release your hold, when you stop forcing life to go your way and let it flow naturally, something changes. A gentle stillness appears, the mind relaxes, the heart softens, and you realize peace was never gone, just covered up. In this video, we'll look at 7 timeless Buddhist teachings, simple and compassionate lessons to help you move beyond anxiety into calm awareness. These lessons aren't about running away from life, but about facing it with understanding, bravery, and ease. If you've been longing to silence the noise inside, these teachings might be the doorway you've been searching for. 1. Finding calm in the now. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that anxiety cannot exist in the present. It only lives in the thoughts we create about what was or what might be. Thoughts about what might happen, what could fail, or what the future might hold are like watching a movie that hasn't even been filmed yet. When anxiety rises, notice where your thoughts have gone. They're not in this moment. They're racing ahead, creating stories and pulling you away from where life is actually unfolding. Right now, here, with this single breath, you are safe, steady, and complete. This is mindfulness, the gentle act of coming back to the present. Each return softens anxiety's grip a little more. In this quiet space, peace isn't something you have to search for. It's something you remember. Beneath all the noise of the mind, it's been here all along, waiting for you. 2. The root of fear. Have you ever noticed that the more you fear something, the more real it begins to feel? In Buddhist teaching, the mind is like rich soil. Whatever seed you plant, whether fear, anger, calm, or kindness, will sprout and grow. Fear isn't just an emotion, it becomes the lens through which you see life. The more you focus on it, the more it shapes your thoughts, your energy, and even the world you create. Picture fearing that you might lose your job. That quiet fear shapes how you act. Hesitation replaces courage. Doubt clouds clear thinking, and without realizing it, you drift toward the very thing you hope to escape. In love or friendship, the fear of being left can make you hold on too tightly or pull away, creating the same distance you were afraid of. It isn't fate working against you, it's fear, quietly guiding your steps from the inside. The lesson is straightforward. You are the caretaker of your mind. The soil never decides what grows, it simply nurtures what you plant. If you plant fear, it spreads. But if you plant calm, trust, and presence, those are the flowers that bloom. When fear appears, stop for a moment, take a slow breath, and ask yourself, does this thought bring peace or feed fear? Choose mindfully. As your inner space softens, life around you begins to open as well. 3. The strength in letting go. In today's world, we often mistake control for strength. We're taught to manage our time, shape our success, and direct every step of our path. We push harder, plan longer, and hold tightly to our goals. But Buddhist wisdom offers a softer and wiser truth. Real power doesn't come from gripping, it comes from releasing. Letting go isn't weakness, it's an act of deep understanding and trust. It means releasing the illusion that we can shape every moment, every person, and every result through sheer force of will. Instead, we do what we can with sincerity, and then we allow life to unfold. Imagine holding water in your hand. If you squeeze too tightly, it escapes. But when your hand is open, the water rests there, calm and steady. This is surrender, soft yet strong. When we release the need to control everything, something powerful begins to happen. Our energy is restored, our mind becomes clear. We notice paths we once overlooked, and support appears in ways we never expected. Life begins to flow with us, instead of against us. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that surrender is not an ending, it is a beginning. It is the doorway to inner peace, to true freedom, and to a strength that is unshakable because it is rooted in trust, not tension. To surrender is to live in harmony with life itself, and in that harmony, we don't lose our power. We discover where it truly resides. 4. The freedom of trusting life. There is a quiet truth in Buddhist wisdom that feels both challenging and liberating. Control and faith cannot walk the same road. The more tightly we cling to control, the further we drift from trust. And the more deeply we trust, the more we must loosen our grip. Think of it this way. You cannot hold the steering wheel with both hands and still believe the road itself will carry you. Control and faith move in opposite directions. One is born from fear, the other from trust. When we try to micromanage every part of our lives, what we're really saying is, I don't believe life will take care of me. That need to manage every detail often comes from fear. Fear that if we stop watching, guiding and pushing, everything will fall apart. But has this control ever truly brought peace? More often than not, it leads to exhaustion. Anxiety grows, tension builds, and we find ourselves tangled in outcomes we cannot command. Control may offer the illusion of safety, but beneath it lies a quiet panic. Faith is different. Faith is not passive, nor is it careless. Faith whispers, I have done what I can. Now, I trust the unfolding. It allows us to take meaningful action without being bound by results. It opens us to mystery, to timing we do not dictate, to outcomes we cannot yet see. Buddhist teachings call this the release of attachment. You act with clarity, but you surrender the demand that life must move according to your script. It is like planting a seed. You water it, you care for it, but you cannot pull it upward to force growth. Real growth depends on unseen roots and the natural rhythm of time. Ask yourself gently, am I holding so tightly that I've forgotten how to breathe? Am I trying so hard to force a future that I no longer trust life's quiet intelligence? Letting go does not mean giving up. It means showing up fully, doing what is within your reach, and then stepping back with trust. This is the ground where faith begins, and where faith is, peace follows. To release control is not to lose power. It is to find a deeper strength, the strength to live with openness, patience and trust in life's unfolding. Letting go of imagined fears. Much of what burdens us never truly happens. Our minds often create storms that never arrive, carrying us into a world of imagined dangers. Buddhist wisdom reminds us of a simple but profound truth. The greatest weight we carry is rarely reality. It is the stories we create about what might go wrong. We spend nights awake with worry, replaying possible outcomes, rehearsing conversations, and bracing for challenges that may never come. These fears become like invisible stones, heavy in our pockets, weighing us down as we move through each day. And yet, most of them dissolve before they ever touch our lives. Why does this happen? Because the human mind is a storyteller. It writes endless drafts of what could be, painting scenes of failure, rejection, or disaster. The mind believes it is protecting us, preparing us for danger. But in truth, it often traps us in a cycle of stress, reacting to shadows as though they are real. Think about the moments in your own life. How many times did you expect the worst, only to find the situation was gentler than you imagined? How often did a dreaded conversation end with understanding, or a feared outcome never materialize at all? This is the distortion of worry. It magnifies possibilities until they feel like certainties. But Buddhist wisdom reminds us a thought is not a fact. Just because the mind presents a story does not mean we must step inside and live it. When anxiety rises, pause, breathe. Ask yourself softly, is this happening now, or is this only a thought? More often than not, you'll see that you are battling images, not reality. In that recognition, something shifts. The weight begins to lift. You return to this breath, this moment, the only place life is ever real. Most of the fears we carry are phantoms, and when we stop feeding them, they fade. What remains is lighter, calmer, and closer to the truth. Life, as it is right now, is often kinder than what we fear. And in that presence, peace is not something far away. It is already here, quietly waiting to be felt. 6. Growth begins with letting go. Worry has a way of making life smaller. It doesn't arrive all at once. It begins quietly, almost unnoticed. A cautious thought here, an extra layer of planning there, a hesitation born from fear. At first, it feels harmless, even responsible, but over time, those small hesitations weave together into walls, and before you realize it, you are living inside a cage of your own making. You shrink your dreams because they feel too uncertain. You hold back your voice because judgment feels too heavy. You close your heart because risk feels unsafe. And so worry, which promises protection, becomes restriction. It builds a small room around you, a room that may feel familiar, but soon feels like a prison. The way out is not found in more control. It is found in release. Letting go is not a loss, but a beginning. It is the quiet courage to say, I will no longer let fear define the shape of my life. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that we cannot grip everything and still expect to feel free. Life asks us to shift focus from what we cannot control to what we can, our choices, our presence, our compassion, and our openness. Picture yourself standing in a river. When you cup the water tightly in your hands, it slips away. But when you soften, when you trust, the river itself carries you. That is the essence of surrender. Letting go is not passive, it is powerful. It makes space for courage, for creativity, for love, and for joy to flow back in. Every act of release is an act of expansion. It invites you back into the present moment where life truly lives, not in the endless what-ifs, but in the simple right now. Ask yourself gently, how much of my energy today went into worrying about what I cannot change? And what if that same energy was poured into creating, into connecting, into trusting the path in front of me? When you stop trying to bend life to match your blueprints and instead begin to move with its rhythm, something shifts. You begin to feel supported, not by control, but by the quiet intelligence of life itself. Letting go is not weakness. It is one of the deepest forms of bravery. It is the strength to step out of the cage of worry and to live with an open, unguarded heart. So, breathe. Release the weight you do not need to carry. Let life meet you just as you are. True growth doesn't come from holding on tighter, but from learning to release. When you stop blocking your own path, life begins to move freely. One of Buddhism's deepest insights is this: life flows best when we stop forcing it. The more we try to manage every piece, the more tension we create. The tighter our grip, the more disorder we invite. But when we gently step back, not from neglect but from quiet trust, something beautiful unfolds. Life begins to guide itself, often with a wisdom far greater than our own plans. This idea can feel uneasy. Since childhood, many of us have been told that safety comes from control, that we must fix, predict, and manage everything around us. So we overthink every word, solve problems before they exist, chase outcomes that aren't ready, and involve ourselves in matters that don't belong to us. We fear that if we don't do this, everything will fall apart. But what truly happens? Instead of finding peace, we exhaust ourselves. Our thoughts become cluttered, our energy fades, and we end up tired from carrying responsibilities that were never meant to be ours. Control may look like security, but underneath it lives only tension and weariness. Buddhist wisdom offers a softer way. It teaches that when we ease our grip, when we stop tossing barriers into life's stream, the water begins to run freely once more. Just as a river shapes the land without our help, our lives also move to their own rhythm. The more we interfere, the more we block that flow. The more we trust, the smoother everything moves. Think back to times when you forced something, a relationship, a job, a choice. How often did it leave you drained or fall apart? Now remember the moments when you released control and let things unfold naturally. Most times, those moments felt lighter, as if life itself stepped forward to guide you. Worry and control act like rocks thrown into the river. They stir up the water and disturb the current. But when you lift those stones away, when you choose trust instead of tension, the water clears and begins to move with ease again. So how do we live this practice? Start with awareness. Notice where you're holding on too tightly. Is it the constant checking of your phone, hoping for a reply? The replaying of old words long after the moment has passed? The rush to decide out of fear that waiting means failure? In those moments, gently ask yourself, what if I did what's needed, then let go? What if I trusted life to handle what I can't? Letting things be doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you see clearly. It's the wisdom of knowing what's yours to act on and what's better released into life's flow. Like planting a seed, you water it, you care for it, but you don't tug on it to make it grow. Real growth takes patience, hidden roots, and timing you cannot command. Picture holding a butterfly in your hand. If you grip it tightly out of fear, you'll harm it and it will fly away. But if you open your hand gently, it may rest a little longer, and even if it leaves, it may find its way back. Your relationships, your dreams, and your peace all need that same space to breathe. The more you try to hold them, the quicker they slip away. The more room you give them, the more easily they blossom. And then something shifts. You begin to notice perfect timing, help showing up from nowhere, and answers arriving without effort. Your breath deepens, your body relaxes. Life no longer feels like something to fight. It becomes a rhythm you can trust. Beneath all the need to control lies fear. Fear of loss, of failure, of not being enough. Yet Buddhist wisdom reminds us that life doesn't ask for control. It asks for trust. Trust that you'll do your part, and the rest will unfold in its own time. You're not here to command the ocean, only to learn how to move with its waves. So take a moment and simply pause. Where in your life are you trying too hard to control the outcome? Is it a conversation you keep replaying, a choice you're forcing, or a dream you're suffocating with worry? Ask yourself gently, what would happen if I loosened my hold, not from laziness, but from trust? The instant you release control, things start to move. Help shows up, calm returns, and you see a quiet truth. You were never meant to manage every detail. You were meant to play your part and let the story unfold in its own way. When you stop interfering, life doesn't fall apart. It begins to cooperate with you, flow through you, and move for you. Life isn't something to conquer or figure out. It's a living rhythm, like music, asking you to listen and join in. When you push and try to direct every note, the song feels heavy and forced. But when you let go a little, the melody becomes clear and full of ease. Buddhist wisdom reminds us to care deeply, but not to carry everything. It invites us to set down the weight of endless planning and fear, and to meet each moment as it arrives. Letting go isn't giving up. It's finding balance between effort and trust. Here on this channel, we share timeless ways to practice meditation, spiritual growth, and gentle healing from anxiety. Every video is made to help you return to the present moment, to your inner calm, and to the quiet joy of simply being alive. If this teaching spoke to you, please give the video a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll always be here for the next wisdom talk. Until we meet again, take a deep breath and move softly through your day in peace.